All right, she says we're on. So here we are, the day before the big launch. The book launches tomorrow, Saturday, the 27th of January, 2024, 11 a.m. That's when the book launches is, and you can get it at privateblueprint.com. I'll do like the television commercial, www.privateblueprint.com. Oh, need that web address again? It's www.privateblueprint.com. That's where the book will be. Or you can just go direct to Amazon and search for it. It is called Private Pilot 101, Helicopter Training Blueprint. We did promise you, why am I yelling? We did promise you 3 giveaways today. And Heather thought these up this morning. She said, let's give away 3 30-day memberships. We don't even have that, but we just created a 30-day offer that we're going to give away 3 memberships for 30 days. And after that 30 days, it'll go away. And you're always welcome to get your own version if you need to. Let me shut this thing off. It never fails. I can never remember to shut the goddamn furnace off. Oh, it's annoying all winter long with that thing all the time. So anyway, I'm in a good mood, really. The furnace is annoying. So where was I? Privateblueprint.com. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., you can go to privateblueprint.com or you can go to Amazon. And yes, right now, privateblueprint.com is still directing to chapter 1. So if you want to read chapter 1 tonight or get on the email list to get notified of anything that, well, basically it's our newsletter. You know, you'll be in the system and you'll get our emails. That will be directed to the new book when the book launches. So you'll be able to get it at privatepilot.com. Oh, we're going to do some giveaways, but I'm going to talk first and going to make you hang around for just a little bit. And we just sat down. I thought, well, let's just pick out some content right from the book. And we're like, okay, what haven't I talked about a lot? And one of them is, I don't talk that much about solo time. And I don't know why. It's like we talk about training, testing, written test, aerodynamics, safety. We talk about all this stuff. And very rarely do we talk about solo time. And we talk about it in the book because it's an important part of this book. And again, I've laid this book out for beginners. And I mentioned, you've heard it if you've watched the last couple days of videos, but originally we named it like a beginner's blueprint or something like that. And my good friend Dave Faulkner, who's a helicopter CFI, do you guys need help? We have a problem over there? No? Okay.
Don't mind, Dad.
Okay. So I put out an additional book cover just for fun on the internet, and Dave saw it and he's like, hey, I don't think you should call it or put beginner in the title because a lot of guys who are working on ratings or doing an add-on aren't really beginners, but they still ask a lot of these basic questions. So I took beginner out of the title, but we kept blueprint because I'm just kind of telling a story here from start all the way up to your test on what to prepare for, what to look for, training tips, things to think about, things that will hopefully help you getting ready for your test. Hopefully some things that help you so you don't wind up with 150 hours or 200 hours, because it's very important that you understand, here's the problem in the industry right now. The people coming here this summer had 150 hours or more. What? You're distracting me. What?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to remember that. Can I have that book?
Yeah, you can have it. You gotta come get it.
I want to get it.
So, what was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. So, we've laid the book out for beginners, and we answer in the beginning a lot of the basic questions. Oh, I know where I was at. I'm back on track. You're all worried about, oh my God, well, you charge $285 an hour, but that guy charges $210 an hour. I'm just throwing out random numbers. You know what? Honestly, I'm going to be blunt with you right now. Who gives a shit? Who gives a flying fuck about how much it costs per hour? I'm serious, right? Now you need to listen to me. When you're shopping around, oh, but this guy charges that much and this guy charges that much. Well, are you going to get the rating done in 40 hours? Or are you going to get it done in 60 or 70 like the normal? Or are you going to get taken to the cleaners by some flight school that just wants the rotors turning and doesn't give a rat's ass about your ground school? This is what's going on in the real world, people. And that's why the people come here. They come in here with 100 hours, 150 hours, 200 hours, because they got ripped off by flight school out there who was jacking up the flight time, and they come here and we finish them in a week, right? So this is what I'm saying about, you're going to spend 20 grand, but you got to look at what it's going to take to get through the rating. Are you going to have good instructors? Are you going to have good ground school? Are you going to study? Are you going to make use of your time? So honestly, who really cares whether it's $300 an hour or $375 if it's going to take you 80 hours to get the training? Just telling you. Kind of like the which helicopter should I fly? We're blunt in the book. I don't think it matters. I think it's fly whatever's right for you. What's close? What's maintained properly? We talk about in the book how they did a study, and Tim Tucker told us how they did a study in the military for 5 years. Half of them trained in a small piston, half of them trained in a turbine. And he said after 5 years, they determined it made no difference. It didn't matter whether they were flying a piston or flying a turbine. It really made no difference in how they turned out as a pilot. So we'll help guide you a little bit on, what helicopter should I fly? But it's still your choice. And it boils down to getting good training from a good school, good instructors who aren't trying to just rip you off. I just kind of went off on a tangent on that, but it's the truth, right? And that's what the point of this book is. I point out some of those things. Because you look at a website, our 40-hour package. I remember when I first started making videos, one of the first videos I ever did was the 40-hour package, right? I know you get wrapped up in the math. A flight school says, well, our 40-hour package is $13,999. Okay, great. Know that the average person doesn't do it in 40. In 23 years of doing this, I think I had one guy that did it in 41. Almost nobody does it in 40. Can you? It can happen. What's the national average? 60 to 70. So you get where I'm going here with, it's really about your quality of training, quality of your instructors, and that's a lot of what we're trying to point out to you in this book. And solo time, you're only required to have 10 hours by the FAA. Right here in the book, we mentioned Jerry Ventrella, and I've mentioned him I mention Jerry all the time because he's a freaking legend and he's awesome. And at Heli Expo, and this is what I talk about in here, and we also have a link to this where you can hear from Jerry. In the Kindle book, Jerry said, here's the problem. He said, years ago, the FAA required 20 hours of solo. And he said that was a good thing because that gave a person some really good solo time to really get confident in the helicopter. And he said at some point, the FAA decided that they were going to make that go to 10. And he made the point that, not saying a guy can't get just 10 hours of solo and be a great pilot. He said, however, performance went down on check rides when they went from 20 hours of solo to 10. And he said, that's the reality, people. And so he just wanted to make that point to this classroom of people at Heli Expo was, yes, 10's the minimum. But if it's in your budget and you can afford to go 15 hours of solo or 20 hours of solo, there's nothing wrong with that. And he said in his 50-some years of experience, people with 20 hours do so much better on a check ride. So something to think about. And I mentioned a story in here about as a new CFI where I had a gentleman that I was training with, and this ties into the hours thing. He was a wonderful guy, neat guy, and we were training and he was getting a ton of hours and he hadn't soloed. And I felt bad for him, and here's even another point where I know that when I was becoming an instructor, they said, tell people that, some people you just have to tell them they just can't do this and they just shouldn't waste the money and just go home. And I've always like, man, I would never want to tell somebody that, but I did have this gentleman who was getting a lot of time, and he might have had he had a lot of time and he hadn't soloed. And he was doing really well, and he could do everything perfect in the aircraft. He was really, really good, but he was lacking on pedal inputs. And it was only one direction. It wasn't the other. It was like, and I'm like, man, we got to clean up this pedal thing. Other than that, you can fly the pattern, you can talk on the radio, you can do all the stuff really well. And I was a new instructor at this time, and because he was so good on everything else, I thought he was going to be okay. And it comes to solo day. Oh, let me finish about the money. I had to talk with him about, man, you're getting a lot of time here. And he said, it's none of your business. I'll spend whatever I want to spend. It doesn't matter how many hours I get. And I was like, okay, I didn't mean to offend you. I was just trying to make the point that you're getting a lot of time here and you haven't soloed yet. So, in this case, I kind of pre-warned the gentleman that, hey, you're getting a lot of time. And he was like, I don't care. This is my hobby. It's my fun. I don't care how long it takes to solo. Okay, that's the right attitude. He had the money. It's his hobby. He didn't care. Good reason. So that guy's, I don't know if he ever finished his rating. If he would have, I'm sure he would have rounded up at 200 hours. Again, making my point about getting good, solid training. And so I think, okay, I didn't have any other instructors check him out. And that was my first mistake. I should have said, hey, Bob, jump in here and go fly with this guy and see what you think. I solo him, and luckily we were off the runway. It was a towered environment, and we're off the runway. And we have this run-up area where jets would run up, and we would use it as a hover area. And I warm him up. We go around the pattern a few times, make sure he's having a good day. And I'm like, okay, he's going to be all right. And he goes to lift the helicopter up, pulls up to a nice, smooth hover. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then all of a sudden, the helicopter starts turning. And I'm like, push that pedal, push that pedal, push that pedal. And the helicopter just keeps turning. And then it starts going up. And I'm yelling his name, and I'm going, oh my God, push the pedal, push the pedal. Class Delta airspace, he keeps going up, and he's spinning. And at first it was controlled, and then it started getting like, he's all over the place. I started running. I am not making this up. I am running because I'm thinking when he comes back down, flying debris, flying rotor blades, I'm screaming his name. And I'm thinking, oh God, again, I'm beginning of my career. My career's going to be over because I solo this guy and he kills himself. I run. I get as far away as I can, and I can still hear it running, so I turn around, and it's like, our brains can play tricks on us, but in my mind, he was like 200 feet in the air. I mean, he's way up there. And I turn around, and I'm watching, and all of a sudden, he gets it under control. Well, actually, that's not right. My memory's coming back to me now. He comes down, he keeps spinning, gets down close to the ground, and I think he's going to crash. And I was looking at him, and he was pointing in the wind as he comes down, but then he spun around where I couldn't see him because I'm looking at the tail, hits the back of the skid. I remember a puff of smoke come out of the engine, and I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. It's going to go over, and then all of a sudden he pulls it around, points it into the wind where I can see him, pulls it into this nice stabilized hover, and sets it on the ground. And I am shocked. So I climb over and I get in. I'm sure my face is white. And he was like, just kind of looking at me. And I go, I got in. And he goes, what's happening? And I go, we're going in. And he's like, why? And I go, you just almost killed yourself. And he went, no, I had it under control. And I'm like, let's just go in. I'm going to take the controls. Let's go in and we'll talk about it. And so we go in, and I go, shut it down. I'll meet you inside. And he came in and sat on beside me, and he goes, did you really think it was that bad? And I'm like, yeah, I swore to God you were going to kill yourself. Oh man, I'm sorry you feel bad. I didn't think it was that bad. It was that bad. So I go to the owner and I go, hey, I just soloed Bob or Jake, whatever his name is. And I said he about killed himself. And the owner's like, okay, well, you did the right thing coming in and telling us. And I said, I don't have a problem with flying with him, but there's no way I'll ever be able to solo him. There's no way I'll ever be able to do it. It's not going to ever happen. So, the owner's like, it's okay. You did the right thing. Let's bring in a more experienced instructor who had previously worked there, had left and was doing EMS flying and flying on his days off, doing instruction. And I'm like, perfect, right? So, and I knew the gentleman and he was cool. And he came in and they flew a couple times. And I know that other instructor was really hard on him. And as far as I know, after those 2 flights with a senior instructor, because again, I was new, I don't think he ever came back. I don't remember ever hearing of him coming back after that point. And I sat down and had a good talk with this instructor after the fact, and he said, because I was new, he was relaying information to me, and he goes, here's what I do, Kenny. When I'm getting ready to solo someone, they have to be prepared to the point where we do like a pre-solo test, where we go out to the helicopter and I don't talk. Like he said, I walk out, I climb in, I sit down, I put my seatbelt on, and my student knows that for this 3 times around the pattern, the student has to do everything. Start up, lift it up, get in the pattern, make the radio calls, go around, and they have to be 3 flawless patterns. Bring it back, set it down, shut it down with a checklist, and everything has to be 100%. And I adopted that after that, and I thought, as very simple as that is so smart, right? Because with this gentleman that I mentioned in the book, I'm responsible. I'm the instructor. It was my job to make sure he was 100%. Didn't matter how many hours he had. He was lacking a little bit on a pedal input. I should have never let him go. So for you newbies, or maybe you're going to be a CFI later, or maybe you're a CFI watching this video and haven't soloed somebody yet, in your heart, in your gut, make sure not only do you go through the FAR aim and make sure you cover everything that you have to cover with them pre-solo, make sure they're 100% in the aircraft before you let them go. And that's pretty good. That's a pretty good way of explaining, kind of my thought process in that section of the book. You need to be confident as the pilot, the student pilot. Your instructor also needs to be confident. And if there's anything that's not right, I understand money is an issue for most people. Again, that's where we run into trouble, right? It's always about the money. Helicopters are extremely expensive. They're extremely expensive to operate. They're extremely expensive for you to take lessons. And cutting corners on your flight training is what gets people hurt and killed. And the same thing happens in the commercial environment. Operators pushing pilots, pushing maintenance, not doing maintenance properly. We know there's tons of safe pilots out there, and there's tons of safe organizations out there that do the best maintenance possible. But there's a lot of shady operators out there as well, and a lot of shady instructors that you have to be careful of. So, not to scare the total hell out of you, and that's why I bring it up and talk about it in the book, is your confidence for solo. And I really wanted to mention the thing, again, from Jerry Ventrella about, I understand if you just only do 10 hours of solo time, that's all I did. But he made the point, and coming from a guy who's been doing it forever, he said, I'm telling you firsthand, as a guy that was doing check rides when they required 20 of solo, and seeing the change, pilots need more solo time. And that extra 10 hours just really, really made a difference with getting people there, the confidence they need, and then in turn they do better on their check ride prep, and they do better the day of the test. So Lindsay, you got our questions? You may just sit through all that and my rant and raving and cussing, but I can't stress enough how, you want me to come get it? Yeah. Price per hour, you know what? I don't give a rat's ass. When I was in the towing service, I did heavy duty trucks, and I had the biggest truck in Indiana, northern part of the state, and I had it built big enough that I could go out and do truck wrecks by myself. But my truck was a little more expensive than the guys down the road. But they'd bring out 3 trucks, right? So if my truck's, $300 an hour, and the people call you and they go, well, yeah, but Joe Blow, he only charges $150 an hour. Yeah, and he brings out 3 trucks. And he charges you for 3 trucks, 3 operators, and his bill ends up higher than my bill because I got the I have the better truck, and I could do it more efficiently, and I could do it faster with one truck. It's the same thing with helicopter training. Price per hour, yes, I understand why you care, and yes, of course, you're going to look at it, but don't make price your determining factor. All right, so the book's coming out tomorrow, 11 a.m. Still get chapter 1 tonight if you want. Free PDF. And privateblueprint.com is where you can go get the Kindle tomorrow for 99 cents. I'm not sure how long we're leaving at 99 cents. I guess we should put a limit on that. We'll make it limited, of course, because that's part of marketing 101, right? You got to have it a limited time. So grab it, because I don't know how long we'll leave it at 99 cents, especially if they sell pretty well, you know. How long can I leave it at 99? I'm a businessman, I want to make money. How soon am I going to raise it? So 99 cents tomorrow, Blueprint, privateblueprint.com. So we're going to ask 3 questions. Lindsay will make them a little harder than yesterday. Is chat up and going, Heather? Everything going good?
Yep.
Anybody got any questions?
You covered it, and another PFII covered it, just asking when would be the right time to solo. So.
Nice. Perfect. Okay, so let's give away the first one. And it's a very simple answer. You may know, you might guess. All you got to do is type in 1 digit. And what we're looking for is this book right here. This is my first Amazon #1 bestseller. I have a pretty good tomorrow. This is going to be an Amazon #1 bestseller. And I think it'll happen pretty darn quick. We're planning on trying to go live tomorrow around 11 or so. Do a little kickoff and talk about it, put it up on the screen, and if it's not there, watch it, hopefully build to #1. That's what we did before. It's kind of fun when you're watching it go, okay, we're #3. Okay, wait a little bit, refresh the page. #2, okay. That's kind of fun. So that's #1. How many, if this hits Amazon #1 tomorrow, how many total books will I have that are Amazon #1 bestsellers? If that hits. And you know the answer, right, Heather? So the first person, and so all you gotta do is type in 1 digit. And it's the number, how many #1 bestsellers will I have if we hit Amazon #1 bestseller tomorrow? And please give me a comment when you buy the book. I know it's very difficult. Sometimes it's hard to find. You gotta go down and find the button to click review. How did you do it, Lindsay? You did it, you found it. Well, you figured out how to leave a comment on a book.
I just clicked write a review and
But you got to like scroll down the page to find it, right? On a book? Okay. So it's hard to get people to comment on a book. Do us a favor.
Ask the question again.
Nobody's answered?
They are, but they're not giving it.
Okay. Okay. The question is, if this hits #1,
We got one.
you got one?
Robert Hammer.
He's a lifetime member.
He's already
Well, thank you, Robert, but I guess we'll go to another question. I mean, Robert doesn't need 30-day free. Well, unless he wants to give it to a friend. Robert, do you want to give it to a friend? And we'll move on to the next question. And then if he wants to give that to a friend, we'll do a 4th question.
Go ahead and say the answer anyway.
Okay, the answer is 4. So this will be my 4th Amazon #1 bestseller. I know it will be, but Lindsay told me that was a little cocky to say that, but I just said it anyway. I'm confident that we're going to hit #1 tomorrow. I'm confident. I did it 10 years ago with this, 2 years into Hogs, where this is a lot more exciting, and Hogs Following is a little bit bigger than it was 10 years ago, so I'm pretty sure we're going to hit #1. So Robert, let us know.
Give it to the next person, and that would be Munchers. That's what I'm seeing. Is that what you're seeing, Heather? No.
Well, how about we do the next one while I give Robert time to answer if he wants it or wants to give it to somebody else, since he's, or maybe he's not. Is he lifetime member? Maybe he's not.
He said this is just fun.
Okay.
Okay, state what it's for.
What the first question was?
What the prize is.
Oh, it's 30-day membership to Hogs, and we think you have lifetime membership.
Pilot only.
Yeah, private pilot. It's 30 days of private pilot. So he did say he doesn't need it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll add a fourth question, then I'll make something up on the fly. All right, so for the first 30-day private pilot giveaway, I might have already said it. How many years has it been since my first Amazon #1 bestseller? I already said it today in the video. And I didn't realize this until the last couple of days. I picked this up and I picked it up and went, holy shit, this was blank years ago. In my mind, it's like, oh, I did this 6, 7 years ago. I was wrong. I'm like, 2000. I couldn't believe how long it had been since I made that one. So that's for the first 30-day free private pilot membership. Any takers yet?
No.
All right, so.
Publishers have a pro membership too, so. Next question.
All right, so next question. We're moving on. So how many years has it been since I got my first Amazon #1 bestseller? Take a guess if you're in there. How many people we got watching?
27.
Ah, hell, there's got to be a couple people. There's got to be at least 3 people in there that aren't members of Private Pilot. Or maybe not. Maybe everybody's a member. Should I ask the third one? So remember, tomorrow, 99 cents, Kindle version. Print, we're going to do in 4 weeks. I think I have it scheduled for February 27th. And we're going to do the first ever. We're going to do it I'm pretty sure we're going to do a hardback as well. We want to take a little time. We be going through the Kindle, getting your feedback. We want to add some actual photographs and put some cool pictures in here and there, maybe some illustrations. So that we're going to work on for the paperback and the, what do you call the other one? Paperback and hardcover. And like a coffee table book, right? And that's got to have some cool images. So if it's sitting on the coffee table, somebody might want to read through it, but some people want to see some cool helicopter pictures too as they go through. So 4 weeks, we will do the paperbacks for the next month's 99 cents at www.privateblueprint.com. Got a winner yet?
Scott James.
Scott James. All right. So that's number 1, right?
Yes.
Number 1 winner. All right. Next question. Okay. I forgot it, and now I'm looking at it again. So I've been talking about it. This has got to be somebody who's been watching the videos probably now I think about it. This is a little tougher. How many months did it take me to write this one? And how many weeks did it have to do this one? Hopefully that's not too tough. And you can imagine with technology now and experience how I could do this obviously much faster. How many months did I work on building this book to get it out and get it published? This I've been talking about. I have been talking about it.
The same digit.
It's the same digit. So we'll take 1 digit. We wanted you, we did make that kind of hard for a small crowd.
Gilliard wins.
Yes.
And what didn't he email going, I hope I win, I'll be there?
Yes, I have been pushing him to answer all week.
Good. So he's been trying, he emailed me and said, I'll be there or something. I remember seeing his name. Awesome. So that means we got our number 2 winner, right?
Yep.
And then he just backpedaled.
Who backpedaled?
So he said 3, he was correct, and then he just said 3 months, 6 weeks.
Oh, well, he got it right and we claimed a winner before he screwed it up.
Yeah.
It's the lag. It's the lag. He did that before he heard that. All right, we need a question on the fly. Lindsay?
Birthday.
Whose birthday?
Yours.
What month?
Sure. I don't know.
What month is my birthday? A lot of people know it because well, if you're a follower of Hogs, you know what month my birthday's in because it coincides with Hogs' birthday. My birthday is the same month as when we launched Hogs in 2012. Same month. So, and that's a good question because we're getting ready to celebrate. I just gave it away. We'll be celebrating very soon 12 years online. So we launched Hogs in the same month as my birthday.
K9 NSP, but yeah. So we have a winner.
Have a winner?
K9 NSP.
K9NSP?
Michael.
Michael? All right. Michael is the third. There you go. Okay.
He corrected me the other day.
Anybody have any questions in there about the book? People have been attending. I guess everybody just wants to win stuff. Nobody wants to ask a question. Don't have anything to answer?
Nope.
All right. Well, I guess we recap with, I've been talking way too much. I need a drink. Hope that was today's. Ugh, that tastes a little gross. Okay. I guess we'll wrap it up. I should say, hey, we got to thank you, right? It's the script we had that I don't know where, I didn't even look at it because we write scripts and then I don't use it. The script said, show gratitude, right? Like, thank you everybody for tuning in for 12 years that we've been doing this. Well, Hogs has been online 12 years. I started making videos 2 years before Hogs. So it had been 2010 when I started making helicopter training videos. I'm flying at the EMS base. I got my little Enstrom business on the side, and I start blogging and making videos for my little helicopter company that I operate on my days off. And so that started 2010, 2012, March 1st, I went live with Hogs, and here we are. So we've got here through 14 years of being online. I never thought about that. I've been making videos for 14 years. And then I get a whopping like 200 views on a video over a period of time. All right. Wait.
Can you talk about the AI side?
Oh yeah, askhogs.com. Here's what's fun. You know, we're all, general public's little, I don't know, what do you want to say? Hesitant for AI, right? And what's going to happen with the world and what's it going to do to us? And either and they said that about tractors, and they said, oh my God, they invented the tractor. Oh my God, it's the end of the world because the tractor puts everybody out of work. And same thing with AI. Oh, it's putting everybody out of work. Either you jump on board with technology or you don't, right? So as Hogs being who we are and what we do, I can't fall behind on technology. So we do have Kenny's Clone. We have Kenny's Clone. It's AI technology, of course. However, what's significant is it's built on my content. So as I just stated, I've been making videos since 2010. So 14 years of YouTube videos have been uploaded to our AI. Most of them uploaded, but some didn't. They failed uploading. So that's about that's probably 1,300 videos. We uploaded all of our blog posts, and I don't know how many that is. That's got to be 300 or 400. Same thing with podcast. We uploaded those. So there's 2,000 pieces of content, meaning a video, a blog post, a podcast that's been uploaded to askhogs.com. Meaning we're not done yet. I don't know if I should say this. Everything I've created is going to go in it. So all of our courses are going to go in it. Every piece of content I've ever built in 14 years is going to go in it, right? And the neat thing about it is, heck, let's type it in real quick just for fun. I did a video on it, and some of you may have seen it. I put it on YouTube, and I took it down because I thought, I don't know if I'm freaking people out or not, but a buddy of mine from Germany, I made a video in German, and it wasn't me. The AI recreated me. It mimicked, the mouth mimicked perfectly. And my buddy from Germany who came over here from Germany and had to learn the English language while he learned to become a helicopter pilot, he was my instructor. He texted me and he goes, dude, stop it. You're freaking me out. And I'm like, what do you mean I'm freaking you out? He goes, that's scary as shit. And I go, is it bad? He goes, no, it's the best I've heard. He goes, when you took your video and you did it in German, he goes, it changed the way you move your lips, and the German language was perfect. It's the best I've heard. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And he loved it, right? And so he was teasing me when he was going, he's actually texted me and go, dude, stop it. Your AI stuff is scary as fuck. That's what he said to me. So I did a video, and here's what it looks like. So it's askhogs.com. So here's what it looks like, all right? So I can come over here and I could type a question in it, and you can ask it whatever I want about helicopter training. Heather and Lindsay were asking it goofy questions like, well, how many girls is Kenny dating or whatever? And the AI will go, I'd rather talk about helicopters, right? So it steers away from those types of questions. But give me a question, Heather or Lindsay. Give me a helicopter-related question to ask AI.
What's the snuggle one?
How did I know you were going to say that?
How many girls does Kenny talk to?
I'll just make it up on my own.
How many hours are an add-on?
How many hours for helicopter add-on? Just thinking. Now listen. For a helicopter add-on rating, you're looking at a minimum of 30 hours. That's broken down into 20 hours of dual instruction and 10 hours of solo flight time. Remember, this is the minimum required by the FAA, and the actual time it takes can vary based on your proficiency and experience. If you're coming from a fixed wing background, it's important to get comfortable with the helicopter controls and operations. Every hour you put in is an investment in your skills. If you're eager to learn more about the add-on process or need some guidance, feel free to reach out to our operations manager, Brian Rutledge, for a free consultation. And for a wealth of information, check out our helicopter online ground school at www.helicopterground.com, http www.helicopterground.com. Okay, it's struggling there a little bit. Don't go away, come back. Wow. Okay, so which helicopter should I fly? I'm right here with you. What's on your mind? Let's tackle your next helicopter training question together. I want to know, which helicopter should I fly? Choosing the right helicopter for your training is a big decision. It's like picking the right pair of boots for a hike. You want the fit to be just right. You've got to consider what's available at your local flight schools, your budget, and where you see yourself flying in the future. Think about the jobs you want in the helicopters they fly. Remember, the quality of the flight school and the instructor is key. It's not just about the helicopter, it's about who's teaching you to fly it. If you're looking for more detailed advice tailored to your situation, give me a call at Helicopter Online Ground School at 574-767-1797 or visit helicopterground.com, http helicopterground.com to learn more. What are your career goals in aviation? That'll help narrow down. That's pretty damn good, other than it can't get the website right. Helicopter.com, http. It'll get better. That's pretty groundbreaking, right? Like, and here's where it's nice. We still have the customer service number, so you can call or text our HOG service number as always, because you want to talk to a human at times. I know that. Like, the company that I run HOGs on forever had live chat. Now when you go to them, it's a bot or it's an AI, right? And then it pisses me off that I can't just chat with a human anymore. And I hate it. It makes me mad, right? I can email customer service, but I can't chat with anybody anymore. Well, we don't have live chat, but we do have member service, customer service, that you can text or you can call and get a hold of a live person. So that's not what this is for. But if you think about it, I sleep, Heather sleeps. You can ask at helicopter training questions at 4 a.m. You can ask about hogs at 4 a.m. Or we're busy, not answering the phone, whatever. You have a resource there. And it's going to be able to answer stuff that I can't even answer, Heather can't answer, because we've loaded so much stuff in it. It knows things that I'd have to go, as a pilot, we occasionally have to go, we can't remember every single regulation there ever was, right? You got to go, oh man, especially talking about, I don't know, SFAR 73 or something. You got to go, I got to go look at the damn FAR-AM again. I got to look that up again, because you occasionally have to keep going back and look at this stuff, right? So this AI thing, it's trained on all my content. It's going to be able to answer stuff quicker than what half the time I can. So it's askhogs.com. It's newest, latest, greatest technology. And I'm big on trying to keep up with technology, right? I have been. It's fun for me now, because I remember when I started doing all this stuff, people would go, they'd email me and go, man, you're really on top of the latest, what's new out there with technology, right? And then we build Hogs up, and then the last few years, I'm not gonna say we were skating, but you get comfortable where you're at and you know how to operate and stuff. And then AI comes into play, and I'll be honest, 6 months ago I was terrified, and I'm just like, oh my God, how am I gonna get on board with all of this? Oh my God. And I decided, you can't beat them, join them or whatever, and I just dug in the last few months, and I've been learning all that I can, and what I can tell you is I've realized if you're not implementing AI into your business, especially the kind of stuff I do, then you're very, very, very quickly going to fall behind the game. And without staying up with times, we could fall to the wayside very quickly. So I'm doing my best to stay up with the technology and figure out how we can use it to make Hogs better. Everything I do, I've learned from some of the best marketers in the country. And I've even traveled and met several of the 3 or 4 that I watch. And two of them recently said, dig into it and get your team on board with you and jump on the bandwagon now, because things are going to change, and they're going to change fast. And the traditional ways of marketing that we all know we've been doing for years, they're going to change. They are hands down going to change, and it's going to happen very quickly. In businesses, especially online businesses that aren't on board and staying up with technology, you're going to fall behind very quickly. So we're digging in now. We watched an hour presentation before we went live today with one of my mentors on what you got to be doing and what you got to be doing now. What's the newest, what's the latest, what's the greatest, and how can we implement these tools to help us move forward in our businesses. So I'm glad somebody actually asked about that, because I was hesitant. Like I said, I just told you the story. Last summer, I was terrified. I traveled to California and did some marketing, heavy-duty marketer over a weekend, and he was pushing the AI then, and he was pushing this, what I just finally got launched. He was telling me last summer, you got to get this, and you got to upload every single piece of content you've ever built. It's got to go in it. You got to do this, right? And we were slow at it, and I kept dragging my feet, and now that I jumped on board, I'm sucked in. I'm in AI technology every day, all day long. It's just, I'm diving in and learning as much as I can. All right, any other questions?
Nope.
All right, let's wrap it up. Thanks, everybody. 12 years of Hogs, 14 years of making videos. You're all why we're here. Whether we have 5 people that show up in the audience for a live event, we do it, right? I'm a big ZZ Top fan, and I was watching the Netflix documentary. If you like ZZ Top at all, you should watch that documentary. And they go on stage one night in the early years, the curtains open up, and they go, there was one guy in the audience. And they go, when the curtain opened, this one guy went, oh shit. He turned around to start to walk away, and they go, hey, wait, don't leave. We're gonna play for you. And the guy stopped and turned around. He said they played a full set. They took a break, went over and bought the guy a Coke, and they said, stick around because we're playing the full set. We're going to play the whole show for you. And he said that one guy stayed the entire show the whole time, and nobody else came in the bar. And they go, this guy still comes to our shows today, right? Why did I tell that? I just think that's a fascinating story how, when you believe in what you do it, whether there's one person or 10,000 people watching. All right, go tomorrow. Do us a favor, buy the book for 99 cents on Kindle and give me a review. Take the time to do it. If you want to repay for everything that we've done for 12 years, we give away a lot of stuff. We help a lot of people. We have put the good foot forward in helping the helicopter community. So if you enjoy our content, do me a huge favor and leave us a comment tomorrow on the Kindle version when it comes out. 11 a.m. www.privateblueprint.com, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.